don't forget to subscribe for more reviews. Please also like. Thank you!
Hello there everyone, Tom here again, and today we have the privilege of taking a look at the Siyang culture Shenwei. I'm probably butchering that, but this is their legend scale Metroplex. This is quite a large box here. To give you a general idea about how big this box is, the box itself is about 19 inches by roughly 14. So, fairly good sized box. Here's the front, the side, the back, the side, top and bottom. The bottom has, don't eat stuff in it instructions. I have to tell you, this took a very, very long time to get to me. It's been in the country for, Lord, I guess it's been a week. And it just, when I got the box, it kind of looked like they played soccer with it. For those of you who are kind of old school stuff from China people, then I'm sure you remember how those boxes used to look. This one was one of those. Alright. So, we get instructions, directions for lighting. Directions don't look too bad. Let's see here. I'm just going to take off the plastic here. Maybe. Let's hold it on. Alright. Interesting. So here's all the wires and stuff apparently that come with it. Here's the figure. It's not as big as I expected. Okay. We get two of these guns here. So I don't know how well those are showing up. We get two of those. We get slammer. So yay for that. Turret moves. Doesn't look like he does anything else. Okay. Shoulder cannons. And it looks like they're just going to peg on if I can not drop them in the floor, which is apparently highly unlikely. Alright, I'll figure that out. A piece of cellophane. We get a couple extra little parts. That's all that's in this piece. Got this little bit right here. Okay. And here are all the electrics and some screw covers. It looks like the remote control for it. Okay, or key fob. And lastly, this thing. We'll figure this out. Alright, tell you what, I am going to pause right here and we'll come back in a minute. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put lights in this gun. Okay? I've already got them in this one, so I know what I'm doing, theoretically. I will also tell you, this thing that has all of these in it, it's like they melted the plastic so that the stuff wouldn't leave. I'm taking an X-Acto knife, cutting around it quite carefully, and very gently removing the pieces that we need. if you are careful, then I can recommend this way of doing it. If you don't think you are capable of successfully trying to remove this stuff in this way, then I would suggest you just not try it. I wouldn't swear I know what I'm doing, but at the end of the day, I don't have stuff flying everywhere, and it seems to be working. Alright, so we take this little section here. I wouldn't swear this one works. It's slightly bent. It's not the greatest thing. Then we put it in with the flat side of the battery pointing up, so that it's away from the board. Okay, the flat side's away from the board. Just like that. Now, pardon me as I get in your frame here. These are supposed to be magnetically turned on. There you go. Y'all able to see that well enough? So, to get them in here, we just kind of wiggle this off. It can only go in one way. It's got a little nubbin and a slider. We take this and we just kind of separate it. This right here goes in, and the board, the computer board, is going to sit right here. See if I can zoom in a little bit, maybe get you all to see a little bit better. Also, it might not hurt to have a little bit more light here so that you all can maybe see what's going on. So the circuit board's going to go right in here and just kind of sit like this, okay? Or have I got it backwards? Does it sit like this? No, I'm pretty sure it sits like that. Okay. Then we bring this in and we just cover it over, push it back together, and then we attach it here, just like that, and then we check it. Not bad. And he's got two of those. Like I said, I've already got this one done, so these are effectively finished. Let's move on. So to install this light, you use this panel, right? And there are two different types of circuit boards. We have this one and we have this one. I'm not entirely sure how to tell you which ones are which, but this is the circuit board that connects with the magnet on the gun. So you bring it in here, get it where it needs to be, and it turns it on and off. So this is the proper one for this particular panel. I'm going to, as carefully as I can, try and get this thing in here. And I would ask that you all wish me luck. I believe that's it. There's a little spot here for the battery to go into. Close it up. Now, let's just see if I've damaged it, or well, can't seem to see anything coming on. Never a good sign. Okay, so I got it. Alright. And then we have our first set of lights. The next set's going to go in here. Okay, well, that just pops right off. That was fairly easy. And it looks like it just takes a regular old plain one. It looks like this. When I bring my camera down just a little bit so that you all can see. Alright. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just getting a battery out. He says. Alright. I'm now going to put the battery in, again with the flat side pointing up, away from the circuit board. Take this, and there's only one way it can go in. So, put this in here. Make sure it sets. Give it a test. Yep, it lights up. Okay. Now then, this is going to go in here, kindly like this. This is going to go, I believe that's too big. Maybe not. Let's find out. Yes, this one is too large. So this is not going to sit here. Okay. So that means that one will fit. That one's the same size as this one. Maybe I'm just not holding my jaw right, as they say. Let's try it one more time before we say it won't work. I'm trying to be careful and not crimp the... I don't see how that will fit in there. Let's see. There we go. Ah, I got it backwards. I swear it might be dangerous if I was a little bit more disconcerting. Get that cable, and I'm apprehensive about these wires. I'm not gonna lie. They don't seem to be the best possible thing. Okay, so now we've got two lit up. Let's see. Now we flip him around. Looks like we're going to be putting in this one next. How do we get this off? Correct answer is very carefully, Tom. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Not so bad. I think this one... Trying dry fits this time, if you notice. Just trying to be safe. I tell you what, this is going to take a little bit. I think, unless I change my mind, I'm just going to go ahead and do this off camera. You all have seen how it's done, so it shouldn't be that difficult for you to replicate in this instance. And it's just going to take me a while to get all these put together and put back in. So it might just behoove us all, for the interest of, you know, just expediency if nothing else, for me to go ahead and, like I said, do these off camera, because man, it is not as easy as you might think trying to get these things working the way they're supposed to. Seems like everything's fighting me with this. Wow. But I digress, and this is my issue for the moment. Of course, to be fair, if you buy this, maybe your issue too. I mean, you just don't know, right? So let's see here. I'll do this last one, and then we'll move on from the lighting. That one's in. Okay. You want it right like that. Okay. I do appreciate how they have the recessed area here for this. It does make it slightly easier to work with. Get in there. There we go. There's this another one all in. That looks really nice, actually. And it appears we're going to have another one on this side as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to finish the lighting. If I run into something interesting, I'll let you know. So I've run into something interesting, and I said if I had, I would let you all know. To put the feet in, you have to take this off. You have to unscrew it. So unscrew it, and it just has, you know, regular little, I don't know, those are 8 mil, maybe, I guess. Maybe they're 6, I don't know. Don't do what I did. When I first did this one, I took everything off, took the red piece out. Don't take the red piece out. Do not do it. Just position it how you want it. Slip this in here. Slip this underneath it. Like this. Trust me on this, I fought for probably 15 minutes trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. What I did wrong was I took the red piece out. So don't make the same mistake I did. And then just slip this. No, don't be that way. There we go, just like that. And then we just reconnect. So as I will explain when I do like my build videos or whatever, whenever you're putting a screw back in, never tighten it all the way if you have more than one. Wait until you get it lined up, you know, just to where you have some resistance, and then tighten it in the rest of the way once you have both of them where you want to go. Just like that. And here are the feet all lit up. That could be a problem. Well, fortunately, they go off on their own, but I suppose that means I'm not going to be able to start them on their own. That could be a problem. See, that one just went out. I may never again be able to get it out, or get it back on. And I suppose, I wonder what would happen if I tried both of them at once, because both of these have magnets. Yeah, it did nothing. That's a bit disconcerting. But that's my problem. I'll deal with that later. The only thing, I think there's lights in the head, so I'll get onto that next. Getting the eyes to light up was a bit of a chore. You have to take this little bit right here comes off, and it's just a little thing that sits in there. It takes 2 of these little itty bitty batteries, so just be mindful. They're not the same size as the others. And if you don't know what you're looking for, you might just run off and leave them. So I am not going to put together the key fob. I've got everything here together. I might just go ahead and take a minute. And yeah, I think I'll turn on all the lights and we'll take a look at him. So here he is, all lit up. Oop, I forgot to light up the guns, didn't I? Here he is all lit up, and I even got the feet going. I have a very powerful magnet. Oh, I forgot his eyes. There he is all lit up. Here he is at the back. So yeah, he's got quite a bit of these nice little lights. Honestly, I don't know how much I'm actually going to use those, but they're there. So yay. Alright, let's go on and we'll start with, well, actually, I suppose now would probably be a good time to actually go over the figure. So, let me turn on all my studio lights here. And let's just take a minute and go over him. As you can see, he can hold the guns without any trouble. Pull those holds up. The lights are also on a timer, which I do appreciate. Alright, why don't we zoom in here a little bit and we can take a look at him. As you can see, he has some really nice details. A lot of this is molded in. I have added the Autobot symbol. I decided to go with this one simply because it stands out better, I think. The thing here opens, and I've just put Slammer in there just because, right? It's nice to know he fits. Nice to know he fits. I'm pretty sure he turns into something. We'll take a look at that when we get into transformation. But yes, that goes in there. That closes up. Okay. The head is on a swivel. No, it's a ball joint. So you get all kinds of wiggle waggle out of it. The horns move up and down as needed. This thing here looks like it comes up. So tell me, I was kind of hoping these guns came out. They do. Okay, they come out a little bit. About that much. So not too far, but good enough, I guess. Push them back in, push that back in. This right here doesn't apparently not come up or down. Apparently these bits are stable. The shoulders ratcheted all the way around. It can come out to right there, so that's nice, and it's got this nice little molded detail. We have bicep rotation. Elbow is double jointed, obviously for transformation. You get more than 90 degrees out of it, full range. Wrist swivel. Fingers are on, those are ball pegs. Here, let me, I'm sorry, let me adjust my camera. These are on ball pegs, right here, okay? Thumb is on a ball peg as well, and it has a tertiary and secondary knuckle. Joint, joint. So he has fingers that move just like ours do. Waist rotation, ratcheted. No ab crunch. The legs. Oh, nice tight ratchet. Can kick forward that far without any trouble. And all the way back as well. So he can do the full American splits. Oh, and you get a reverse butterfly here, if that, I'm sure that's a transformation thing, but you get a reverse butterfly. Kick out. Again, good ratchet. So he's going to be able to do the full Chinese splits as well. Ratcheted thigh rotation. Single hinged, what feels like knee, get you 90 degrees. Foot articulation, he has a rocker, and he has a downward tilt. So that's this guy's articulation. Hey everybody, I figured out where we have two of these extra parts. They go right here. At least that's what I seem to be able to figure out. This one went on right here, and it looks like it just snaps right into place. Just like that. Does not seem to, well, now that one's not wanting to go in, of course not. Helps when you turn on the light. This one comes over just like that. This one comes over just like that. Covers them up. I have not yet found exactly where this goes. So I'm still hunting for that, but the directions apparently aren't very forthcoming with what to do with these extra pieces. So right now I'm just kind of looking at the instructions and trying to see if there's a place that should have something that doesn't. The good news is it's gray, so it ought to stand out, you would think. Regardless, I am going to continue to take a look here and try to find this. If I'm fortunate, I will. I'll let you know. If not, then these may just be extra pieces for all I know. Alright. So before I transform it, I wanted to show you all the screw covers here. The screw hole covers. there's just 6 of them, and they only go in these areas right here that have, I don't know how well it's coming off on camera, but they have this perforated section a little bit further down here and here. It's not just a standard screw hole. I don't know at all how well I'm going to be able to get that to show, but it's bigger. Hey, try to show something really small. It's smaller than what you would think. I don't think I can. Yeah, there you go. You can see it now. So it's got those little nubbins on it, and you have to get it in. It just goes in here, here, and here. Like I said, there's just 3 of them. I'm not sure why they didn't give us more to do some of the other ones, like, you know, this one and which you can't see. This one right here would be a nice one to cover up. I'm not entirely certain what the purpose of just filling in these 3 is. And I've looked in the thing, and unless I'm missing something, which I always grants a possibility, there's just not any more. So, I mean, I guess these are special for some reason, I guess. Oh well, regardless, I am going to go ahead and try to get this put in here, and we will go into transformation just as soon as I get this one in. Incidentally, it's the next day, so I've been playing around with this thing just so I could, you know, see what's going on with it. That's all of them. They're all in there. So, get this thing back together. Alright. Phew. The first thing we want to do here is make sure that your fist is closed. Open up this panel underneath right here, right? And just fold this in. Now it doesn't have a stop, so you'll have to just kind of put it in where it goes and then lock this up like this. Okay? That's exactly how you do it. Same thing over here. Make sure your fist is tight. Open up this panel. Close in your fist. Shut it down. And then bring that up. Now, I have noticed something. The head is supposed to push in right here, and it will not do so. I think it's just there's too much of the black plastic here preventing mine from going all the way in. In fact, it doesn't even it doesn't like it at all. So unfortunately for me, I'm just going to turn the head around and push down the ears so that, you know, I at least hide the head. There's not much else I can do here, folks. I'm sorry. Next, we just kind of bring that up a little bit. Lift that up and pull that back. There are little guns here. You kind of have to get in there. They don't come out a lot, at least not that I've been able to tell, but they can come out at least that far. Okay, now let's see, how's this work? Let me pull down the camera here for just a second. Alright, so we're going to just, and they're popped out one of the things because of the ratchets. Well, that's not good. There went another one. Alright, I got some glue that'll solve that. Come here to the legs. Kindly pull them apart a little bit. There is a joint right here. You want to, actually the easiest way to do this might just be to do like this and then hold on to it and just, or kind of, How did I do that earlier? How did I do that earlier? It pops out. How does it pop out? Dang it. These come down. You have to connect these two together is the issue, and they won't come because there's a joint in here that has to come loose, and it's not at the thigh, it's right here. Okay, so I got it now. So this bit here can go into either of these two slots. For battleship mode, you want it in the first slot, which means you just kind of scooch it over a little bit, bring it right back in. This will allow the legs to connect with each other. So, separate it, move it in, and then connect it like that. We bring them together, and they'll peg together. The feet come down as they are. This comes up and around. Make sure that stays tabbed in. Up and around, just like this. Okay. Come here, flip these over, bring this down, and bring this down. Now, we moved these to get them out of the way. Bring them down and around. Oops. And I believe that's, oh, last thing we have to do is come under here, and right here is a panel, right? You need to open up this panel, pull out the wheels, push the panel in place. Same thing right here. You got a panel, pull up the wheels, push it in place. I will tell you, this panel is not the strongest to hold these wheels. I wish they'd have come up with something a little bit different, maybe something a little bit better, but you know, it's easy to nitpick when you're not the one that's designing it. I didn't design it, so I should be kind of happy that it works at all. Alright, we can push this back down if we want to have those back out. And here he is in his spaceship mode, I guess you would call it. I suppose, maybe. Let's see, according to the directions, this comes down and around and comes out like this. Is that right? I suppose so. Here he is in his base mode, spaceship mode. In this mode, from the edge of this bit right here to the tip, we're coming in at approximately 18 inches. Height-wise, I'd say it's about 6 inches. So it's not as big as I really was hoping, but at the same breath, it's not that bad. Let's see, do I have any legend scale figures anywhere? Of course not. Nothing is ever where you want it when you need it. Here is DX9's Nemesis Prime. Give you an idea just exactly how big it is. So I had already concluded I'm going to use this probably in city mode with these little nanobot figures that I bought and worked on. I really couldn't find a use for them. Wasn't sure what to do with them, but this is the closest I think we're probably going to get to any type of real scale for this thing. I know it's a Legends scale figure, but for me, you know, using old Superior on here as kind of an example of scale, that's just not right. I can't do that. I know in the Marvel comics and whatnot he was smaller, but it's just not for me. And that's fine. It doesn't have to be for me. But since I'm the one that's reviewing it, it kind of needs to be something I can at least appreciate. So let's bring in 2 of the Dr. Wu. So I wanted to show you just exactly, you know, a decent scale comparison here. These are the nanobots, little bitty ones. These are the really small Dr. Wu ones. So, yeah, I think these may be too large for this. But if you really don't care to, you know, paint up figures, then, I mean, by all means, use the Dr. Wu. I'd say you'll be alright. They just may be a bit bigger than you want. And here's Nemesis. I mean, just to give you an idea, in spaceship mode, he's taller than the flight deck, if that means anything. You doing another Metroplex? I'd say this is not the last time I'll be here. Ah! Alright. So, yeah, this is battleship mode. Transforming it into base mode from here isn't really all that difficult. There is a little bit of wiggle that you have to do that I'm not really a fan of, but it's okay. So let's first shut these down like this. That right there. That right there. Okay. Now, let's come back here, take the elbow, straighten out the arm, and let's see here. I want to turn this thing up. Maybe jumping ahead of myself here. In fact, I think I am. Take your feet here that you put together, bring them back up. We do this so that we can kindly basically just get it out of the way so we can do what we need to. Spread the legs. Okay. Here's where it gets interesting, is with the legs. Let's see, we gotta get this panel up. This panel allows this section to bend, which I guess maybe I shouldn't have done it quite like this to start with. Alright, so I've gone ahead and put the legs back together just kind of the way it was meant to be, right? Okay, so what we need to do is we need to get this crotch piece here, this back piece, towards the front. So to do that, the reason I put the legs back together is because we got to rotate it, and then we have to rotate here at this joint. Then we can bring the legs back up. This is the position that it's going to have to be in, okay, for base mode, so that you have this in the front and all this going like this. Now, what we have to do here is this section, do I have it right? Has to open up, and it's got a clip here. I got it upside down, don't I? I sure do. Tom, why did you do that upside down? And I told you this was the area that was a bit disconcerting. So what you have to do is basically, there's a tab here that will take off your fingers if you're not careful, if you're like me. So maybe I can orientate it properly once I get it open. Well, I guess I do have it right. Okay, so then we need to pop this, pull it back out to the edge, the far side here, so that it goes. Actually, I don't think we have to. I think we can. It's kind of the extender, and let it be. Pull that around. You want this fully extended. There we go. Alright, then we can pull this around. Same thing here. Break your connection. Why did it break in the other direction? I guess voodoo. No. Who knows? Where's my spudger? Dangnabbit. Pop this panel here open. We'll force this to open up like this. Swing this section out and down. Alright. This is how this is supposed to look. Now, we swing this around like this, pull up our thing here, come back here to the back, push those all the way forward, rotate this. If you're like me and yours is a little tight, if you push on the bottom while pulling up at the top, you should get enough leverage to be able to move it. Mine's got a little bit of flashing there, I think is causing part of the problem. So I believe I will take this opportunity just to shave that just a tinch. Push these back up, rotate this round, slap that right there. Take your gun thingy here, push it up, and you got one for both sides, right? Theoretically. So this one is going to come up, and it's, I mean, it shouldn't be off, right? But mine kind of fell off. So push it back in place, right there. All right. Now, the last thing we do, the last two things we do, so we open this thing up. We need to get our slammer here out. This will come all the way down and touch. It doesn't want to, but it does. And this little slammer has two little grooves that are going to fit right here. So they just plug in right there. Ooh, get in there. Yep, just like that. And that is the base mode. Kind of surprising that these are sitting off the ground, but it is what it is. These things right here, they come in and they have to go in this configuration to plug into the hole that's right here on the side. Just like that on both sides, so you all can see what I'm doing here. There's no way that I can figure out to make a 6-shot out of this. It's just unfortunate. I mean, you used to be able to do that right with the old Metroplex, but it's okay. This is where we see our first stickers, really. Open this up, you get your helipad and all that. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's fine. I guess it works okay. Yeah, this is base mode. Let's see, in this mode, the way that I have it configured right now, you're looking at approximately 19 inches from tip to tip here, right? Height-wise, with slammer on there, you're looking at about 12 inches. So yeah, depth-wise, all the way back with that extra tower, you're looking at about 17 inches. This is not bad. This is probably how I'm going to display this, honestly. It's small enough that I can put it on my shelf without too much trouble. I can always, you know, spread things out if I need to allow for, you know, right size stuff. And again, these little microbots, they work fairly well right here. They're small enough. I think I'm going to end up, I hate to say it, I think I'm going to buy some more of those just for this display. And I mean, here is the Dr. Wu stuff. The Dr. Wu stuff won't fit in where Slammer is. But I mean, it does work. So, I mean, take that however you will. Let's see, what if I turn on some of these magnets here for us? Get them going. That one doesn't have one. That one does. That one does. Hey, that one, and that one, and that one. Alright. So, let me turn off these lights here, and that should give you a pretty good generalized idea about what we're looking at with all of them lit up. It's not bad. It's not bad. In fact, let me just tell you what, I'll turn off the overhead. It's not bad. Not bad at all. There we go. That'd be kindly what it would look like in the sunshine with straight down, right? It's okay. I think it's fine. So I'm not going to do a video montage of, you know, just putting it beside stuff so that you can see. I thought the best thing to do was probably just to show you, you know, and explain what you're looking at. So here he is next to, this is, what is it, Legacy Minosaur. This does have the DX9 upgrade, the Dr. Wu or whatever it was, upgrade kit. So there's always that. It makes it a little bit taller. Just be aware of the fact of that, because I don't want you to think too weird. So he comes just up to about his shoulder. Not bad. Not too bad. You put him back over here where he normally stays. Let me give you this critter next to, this is MP10. Again, just scale comparison. We're not in the same scale, obviously, but it's the, I mean, I would want to know what he looked like next to MP10. Here he is in this mode next to Superion. Okay, and if you'll pardon me, here he is next to Bruticus. This is the Iron Factory knockoff, just, you know, just so you know. Here it is with Minosaur. What is that, Magic Square? Magic Square's Minosaur. Again, just to give you a generalized scale, right? Here it is with the bottom part of the Kang Toys one. Let's see here. What else do we have that we can compare it to that would be relevant? I have heard that this is of the same scale as the MMC or the Make Toys City Bots. So the only one I have is Devil Stinger. Pardon me. Forgive the dust. He was in the back room, sitting on a shelf I haven't messed with for a while. So yeah, there you go. They're about the same size. This has a crap ton more heft and just bulk than this guy. In a fight, this guy's going to win every time, right? Just based on the size, the bulk of it. I mean, his chest is this big, deep. His is like this deep. So yeah, just again, scale for you there. Bottom line, should you buy this? Sure. Let me do one last comparison here. Here is to a Planet X Prime. Should you buy this? I think it's fine. My biggest concern at this point is that, you know, a month, 2 months, 3 months from now, they're going to come out with a fully painted version because there's not a whole lot of paint on him. And I find that a bit disconcerting. But, you know, it was $200 at Show Z. It comes with the Windblade figure, which honestly I don't think I will ever make. I don't think I'll put it together. It's just, you know, I might some lonely rainy day put it together, but why? If I really want to use a Windblade, I have the little chibi figure Dr. Wu put out, which would work just fine for this. Oh, I guess there's one other scale comparison we could do. Here is some of the Bumblebee movie models. AMK does these, right? Trumper. These are the trumpeter ones. So yeah, he's still kind of small compared to even those. So playability, it's fine. You can flip this thing back and forth. I didn't really see anything that was going to break. I am going to have to put those screw covers in with a little glue, but that's fine. That's a small thing. Materials feel okay. Nothing. It feels maybe a little bit better than Hasbro plastic. Ratchets are good. I will say you have to have him in either a straight up or a pretty decent A stance. That's just a bit disconcerting. The cost again was $200. I don't know if it's worth $200. If it was fully painted, maybe. I get that the electronics cost quite a bit and it takes a bit. Adding the electronics and the batteries to it, I've been told, has a tendency to do a little bit of interference with the U.S. mail. So all I can tell you is mine took a while to get here. And it should have been here a week ago, and it just kind of sat for a week in 2 different places. So yeah, I can't speak to that. If this was my first Transformer, would I buy another one? Yeah, the engineering here is pretty neat. They've done some really cool stuff with it. I do like the electrics on it, even though electrics really aren't something that I really get into. But there's enough here to where I would buy another one. This is nowhere near as cool as this. Let me just be straight up, flat out. And this is more expensive. But I broke this. I haven't broken that one. That one's a lot smaller as far as bulk-wise. This one is far more imposing. Take that as you will. Anyway, excuse me. This is Tom. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next review.
Thank you for watching my Papa's channel. Please subscribe and like. Thank you.
Vitamin John. Operators are standing by.